everyone, welcome to Bedtime Church this evening. So I'm hoping that you guys have just sat and watched the clip together about God's love and children's views of God's love and how to share God's love with others. So that's kind of what I want us to look at this evening. Is in the Bible it commands us to love others as ourselves, to love our neighbour as ourselves, and that can be a real challenge, especially when it's somebody that we don't particularly get on with, or that wouldn't naturally be our friend, or maybe you're sat next to somebody at school that can be a little distracting or even aggravating at times. But God commands us to love that person as ourselves. So what does that mean? What does that look like? So this week, I want us to go about our days and think about three things. The first thing is, what does it mean to know God's love? What does it mean to know God's love? Do you know that God loves you, that you're perfectly made, that He created you to be just as you are? Do you really know that in your heart, that God loves you? Secondly, what does it mean to love God with all of your heart and all of your mind and everything that you are? What does that mean to love God? And thirdly, how can we share God's love with others? This week, how can we share God's love with others? What can we do to show kindness to somebody, to show support to somebody, to show patience to somebody, to show God's love to somebody? Maybe there's somebody in your family that needs some support. Maybe your little brother needs you to help build a Lego tower or to help put his toys away. Maybe there's somebody at school that needs some words of encouragement or needs a friend to play with. Maybe they're lonely in the playground. So I want us to look at these three things this week as we move into the season of Advent and we look at the birth of Jesus and we look at how God sent Jesus to this earth to restore relationship with us, the people that He loves. Jesus gives us an example of how to live out our lives, to show others how we care for them, how we love them, how that they are also loved by God. As Christians, we are called to be an example of love, of hope, and especially at this time where coronavirus is still preventing people from seeing one another, still preventing joy in some people's lives. Some people are really struggling and finding it really difficult. How can we be a little beacon of light? How can we share God's hope, God's joy, God's peace? And most importantly, how can we share God's love with others and those around us? So I want you guys to think about these things, and that is your challenge for this week. Bless you all. Have a wonderful, wonderful Sunday. Bye.